Nothing said today is meant as financial advice. If you look at the stock market long enough, you start to get this low grade headache, almost a migraine. And it doesn't come from the numbers or the charts. It comes from a creeping sense of absolute absurdity. That everything is wrong, as Greta Thunberg would say. Everything is wrong. We are told we live in a system of efficient capital allocation. The prices are a decentralized supercomputer, basically. The market price is all of us as human beings pooling our intelligence and saying this is what this thing is valued at. Decentralized computation of what something is worth, and an optimization of human resource distribution. But zoom out, go a little bit macro. Just zoom out as far as you can away from where you are, where you're sitting. Zoom out until you see the whole Earth, basically, from space. And you can look at the whole game board. The whole game board, folks. You got to zoom far out here, otherwise I'm going to sound a little bit crazy. Why Wendy's and not Qdoba? Why Qdoba and not some bleeding-edge quantum computing firm like IonQ? Why does an abstract shipping headline completely override the physical reality of maybe 500 container ships physically choked out of a strait? It stops making sense because the connection to reality was severed decades ago. The modern public stock market isn't an investment engine anymore. It's a closed-loop algorithmic soup. It's based on nothing. It's an awareness-driven casino where billions of dollars move in milliseconds, not because a company built a better product, but because an algorithm somewhere successfully front-ran another algorithm based on a backroom political whisper. Capitalism, at least the flavor we're practicing in 2026, has deteriorated, absolutely has fallen apart into what I call precognition as a service. So we're not yet in the cognition-led era of currency and markets. We don't have currency issued by an ASI. We have what we have today. So what we have today is a frantic high-stakes game of trying to guess the psychological orientation of a few central bankers and a few billionaires and the trillionaire, or predicting the next market-moving rhetoric from a microphone somewhere, from a podcast. The corporate balance sheet is dead. This isn't the 1980s where you look at the corporate health of a company. That seems to not matter anymore. The tech stack is secondary. The asymmetric access to political information is now everything. And if you're a retail investor like me or you, if you're a founder trying to buy into the public market after a tech play goes IPO, you're not an investor, you're the exit liquidity. You're their exit, bro, not financial advice. But we are their exit liquidity. For the institutional venture capital funds who captured the actual 50 or 100x, they captured that gain 5 years ago behind closed doors before it listed on a single stock market. And now you're being invited to the table just as the house is cleaning up, just as the river is going dry. So what's the terminal stage of all this? Eventually you have to build a system where the ledger matches human utility again. Imagine an architecture built on, say, federated AI networks, AIs checking each other's work. Not a mining scheme like early crypto, which just unacceptably skewed the rewards toward people who already held the fiat capital to buy the infrastructure. That's literally what happened, is rich people bought thousands of Bitcoin when they cost very little fiat, and other rich people bought hardware, ASICs and stuff to mine the Bitcoin when it was super easy to mine and when the hardware itself didn't cost much money. So that's actually what happened. It wasn't a perfect race out of the gate. There was no perfect starting point. So what comes next? Every human could get 100 credits a month, right? You get a sustainable, non-fiat, mathematically enforced currency schedule. 100 credits a month for every alive person who's not, a criminal or a dangerous individual. If you're creative, if you're smart, if you build fun or useful protocols or products or services, you accumulate surplus credits above your baseline. Other people pay you, just kind of like we have money today. They can use some of their 100 credits a month to pay for whatever you're offering. And if you stumble, you don't fall into some permanent aggrieved underclass. Your baseline replenishes. You have a bad few months, you're getting a new 100 credits every month. Just save for a little while. You strip away the financialization layer. these scammer platforms that advertise as brokerage accounts, these prediction markets that are just casinos. That's not what we want in modernity. It's bullshit. It's a misuse of the tools we have. So you strip away this financialization layer. Money is just something people use. It's not relevant to other species on the planet, right? So we want the best system possible. What is that system? A handful of people holding all the Bitcoin, a handful of people holding all the access to gold mines, or something totally new, you know? So you return money to what it was always supposed to be, an information ledger tracking the real human energy and the real human productive output. And let's be entirely real here. We're not there yet, right? That doesn't happen overnight. We don't get this utopia where we each get, oh, there's 100 new credits in my account. Great. Thank you, AI. We're not there yet. Instead, we're in this chaotic pre-phase, which is kind of hellish for 99.9% of us. Because we're getting ripped off. We're getting ripped off by insiders who know more than the rest of us, and they trade against us. Before we ever reach this digital utopia I'm talking about, it's totally possible structurally. This is easier to pull off than Bitcoin. This is easier than doing Bitcoin in 2009. And we're going to do it. We have to cross this bridge, folks, because as the illusion of paper wealth and algorithmic front-running starts to fracture under its own complexities, the system has to decompress. And when an abstract system decompresses, it collapses backward into the physical constants that the algorithms can't fabricate. Right, you got Wendy's fluctuating by billions of dollars. You got the price of oil is lower than it was before Trump started a war in the Middle East. Nothing makes sense to me anymore. Am I a dumb person? I think I'm not a dumb person. That's the problem, is when I can't figure something out, I wonder, well, is the game kind of a little rigged? If I can't figure it out, and if the rules aren't supposed to be ridiculous, if it's supposed to be something that a 40-year-old man can ascertain and can understand, and if I don't fucking understand it at all, then something's wrong. These algorithms and these weird trading apps are creating a reality that's not the real economic reality. So what is the real reality? These are just my opinions, not financial advice. Land, gold, and silver. Silver. The things I've been talking about the last fucking year. The things that actually matter in a world of physical constraint. Before the code can rewrite the future, the physical anchors of the earth have to re-rate to reflect a true unmanipulated mass. In other words, it's like Claude can build all this amazing stuff. It can't build a single new ounce of silver. And yet Claude doesn't exist without enough silver. The enthusiasm is drying up. The hype cycles are burning out. And the hyperscalers, the people who lease GPUs to run massive AI systems, they're starting to close the doors behind them. The casino is loud, it's rigged, and it's running out of track. And meanwhile, they don't let us into the new plays. They only give us something after it's already spent. So maybe the smartest play now, the smartest play out there for us regular folks, isn't trying to guess the next electronic wick, the next green candle upward. Maybe the only way to win a truly rigged game, the only way to win in this truly rigged jigsaw casino is to take your foundation off the table. Thank you, goodbye, leaving Las Vegas. Take whatever you have off the table, step outside of the building, have a cigarette, and wait for the gravity of the physical world to do its work. Because none of this makes sense to me anymore. I still like silver. The rest of it, I don't know, folks. Weird stuff lately. Oil trading below where it traded when Trump declared war on Iran. None of it makes sense to me. And I haven't been hit by a bus. Like if somebody banged me in the head and I were now Forrest Gump, I would let you guys know. I'm at the peak of my cognitive capacity as a 40-year-old, previously destined elite. I used to have a lot of money. I feel like Trump's market manipulation has dented my net worth significantly. But I never saw myself as a money person. You know, it's nice. I definitely like the jet. I have enough to keep the jet. It's nice. The rest of it I don't care for. The big penthouse, people sucking up to me. It's not for me. So I don't mind at all that we have less of a balance. What I mind is that this feels unfair. This feels like a handful of people in San Francisco and a handful of people close to a half-asleep Trump are making literally billions of dollars while they're wiping the rest of us out financially. That to me seems fucking ridiculous. Thank you guys so much, and God bless.